you know,
It's
come
25%
here
of the state
for,
inspection.
you know, the public hearing. I think we ought to just, someone should talk to Steve and just do it right, rather than, you know, have some problems in the next couple of weeks. Don't you think?
We're gonna have to republish and then there'll be additional expenses because this was already published for the hearing for tonight.
That would, I guess, I mean, that would be the benefit of proving contingent upon no objections, because then we could take action, and then we could essentially do it backwards.
It really seems to be the same either door you open.
Well, then we wouldn't have the publication requirements, all those
Okay.
kind of things we'd have to go through again, so, I mean, that would be an option.
From looking through the paperwork, it looks like a check was paid on December 5th, 2013. It's written kind of under his signature, and you look down into the paperwork that he has. For something, the home occupancy.
So if we go ahead and approve it pending and do all that, we don't have to republish it. What if someone objects?
That's what's pending.
Yeah, then the measure.
But I mean,
fails.
what if they object?
Then it fails.
That fails.
Then it fails, okay.
Can you pick it up from there, Doug, if we do that? Pass it and make sure all those neighbors are notified at that
Sure.
point, or?
I mean, because I know there's I believe it's a deputy that lives right across the street from me.
Ward.
Yeah, and then Joyce Pint lives to the west of him, I know it's right across.
She's the one that signed. She's the only signature on
Joyce is
here.
one. And maybe when he turned this in,
Joyce Prentice.
Deputy Ward might not even have been.
He wasn't in there yet.
Because he's just moved in, but I
Yep.
mean, you know, he owns but there's a house going in right next to him, there's a house going in right south of Steve's there right now, so.
So the rest of those are properties that aren't actually in now? I mean, the people aren't living
They're
there?
not in They're probably still owned by Steve and Ron Ohl, but, I mean, those places are sold to people, they're building for somebody, so
Right.
they will be there. So I don't know, you know, that's a new, because he's building.
New
in a
situation.
new area. Normally, you know, there's somewhere where the houses, they're not
Right.
getting built around, but in this particular case, it's a
New housing development.
new house.
And this one house is the only one that's actually completed at this point, and that's why it's the only signature we
Well,
have.
there's two of them.
At
There's
this
two
point. That are completed?
now, but there may not have been when.
No, because this was back in December when he actually made this application and
Actually,
paid his money.
October.
Originally was October, because he
October
paid his,
25th, 2013
because
is
his
the date.
check was paid on December
The
5th.
application permit was October 25th. And at that time, yeah.
October 25th.
Saying Steve, I mean, he just moved in there real recently too, so. I mean,
New
I just want to,
situation.
I want to be
New
careful of this,
situation.
because we could be sitting here waiting for everybody to move into those houses in order for him to finally go to work.
Yeah.
When in reality, that if he had this thing all processed back in December, and we should have processed it perhaps in January, I don't know, he would be already in business.
right, and
So he shouldn't be required to sit around and wait for the next person to move in. If he only had literally one person sitting there at the time this application was filled out, he's fulfilling the commitments of the requirements established.
time.
We should be able to continue on with this.
Yeah, at the time of the application, the only one that was living there was one that signed it, because I know the other deputy, it wasn't living there at the time.
There you go.
Wasn't he down in Raleigh still?
so then you
No,
got
he was down
everybody,
on
you know,
150.
other than.
Yeah, just,
And then it's renewed annually.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
mean, next year, we're gonna be considering this again, so
Right.
if there's,
When it's renewed annually, though, they just pay their dues. They don't go through, have to check with the neighbors anymore, do they,
But
at that
if
point?
someone does object to it,
But the one thing I caution you again.
Yeah.
Is going into new neighborhoods like this, now what if we start getting complaints? Then what do we do? Nuisance complaints, like there's too many cars, or he's smoking, or, you know.
we consider revoking the license, or at the very least, not renewing.
Where to go with that part, because normally you don't run into this, but this is a brand new neighborhood where they
Right.
keep building, you know, they're gonna be building around, but, I don't know what you do there.
Well,
I'd
Well, and
say-
how many years do you go before, that you have to get everybody's approval when it's still developing? He shouldn't
I mean,
have to,
and I'm sure this business is
Right.
not gonna be complaints about it, I'm just,
I don't think this is gonna be the kind of a deal where Steve's gonna have 18 cars coming in.
I
And this is,
No.
I'm sure, more just so he can
Yeah.
cook and get ready to go, and I doubt that there's ever gonna be a problem.
Oh, I'm sure there
You
won't
know,
ever be a problem
so.
with this particular one, I'm just thinking, you know, you could have something where you might have a problem, I don't,
Might, but we won't know that until that happens, so.
yeah. But you're correct, that's when he filed it, he did only have one neighbor at
Right.
that time. and
So he did everything
Yeah, he
when he
did everything
filed,
he needed to
took care of it as it should have been done
Yeah.
at
Should be
that point.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, then I
So-
withdraw my offer. Just process
Let's
the
just reverse
application.
it.
yeah, let's just do it.
Alright, sounds good.
Okay, let's see, we're still in the hearing. We need to have a motion to close the hearing and receive and file oral and written comments.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Holland, second by Lennius. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Thank you. Now we need a resolution approving the home occupation permit. And are you putting a stipulation on that?
No.
No? Okay.
So moved.
Then, well, I need a roll call on this one.
Well, you need a
Need a
motion. In a second.
And I'll second
Resolution.
it.
Oh, okay, sorry. Motion by Holland, second by
Grover.
okay, Dallenbach, okay.
You can have it.
Now we'll take the roll call.
Leeds,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Dallenbach,
Yes.
Grover,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Holland,
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, down to ordinances. To adopt an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Independence, Iowa by amending provisions pertaining to Chapter 63 Speed Regulation Section 63.04, parentheses 5, by adding a new section relating to 40 miles per hour on 20th Avenue Southwest from First Street West to the south city limits and deleting Section 63.04, parentheses 6A. That was a mouthful. Motion to receive and file proof of publication of notice of public hearing.
So moved.
Motion
Second.
Holland, second Vaughn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Same, opposed, the same. Motion carried. Motion to hold hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Grover,
Second.
second by Vaughn. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion carried. No objections on file.
no objections.
Okay, any other questions, considerations?
Well, what this is the changing the speed limit.
Wait, we need to,
I thought we were in,
oh,
We're in the hearing.
we are.
Yeah.
this is,
Well, now explain.
this is the speed limit change out on 20th Avenue, out by the new high school where we widened the road. It was previously, or is, 45 miles an hour, but we've been putting those turning lanes in. And with the STP funds we receive through the state, part of that change we have to make is reduce that speed limit down because of those turning lanes. So it's going from 45 to 40. So that's what the change is. As part of the project, we had them put up the new signs. So the signs actually read 40 miles an hour, but apparently you can really go 45.
I was just about to ask about that.
They can't be enforced until the ordinance is changed.
So, yeah.
Till we finish this.
Oh, I don't speed out there now.
He doesn't speed anywhere.
Yeah, so this is basically a housekeeping thing. We have to change this to match the signage and meet regulations, so that's the change.
Okay. Motion to close the hearing, to receive and file oral and written comments.
Motion.
Motion by Vaughn, second by
Second.
Brown. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Then we have a motion to suspend the rules and waive the second reading.
Now, this is something you can consider doing if you want to waive the third and final reading. It's something we don't
Well, this is
do a
the
lot of.
Second.
reading. We had the first reading last meeting, so this would
Okay.
be to suspend the second and third reading and adopt the ordinance.
Can't suspend the second.
Yeah, we just
Just
had
did.
the second one, didn't we?
That was suspension
It
of the
should be the
third.
third, should be the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing the
Not the
second
second
reading.
reading.
I'll make a motion for that.
I'll
Okay.
second it.
Motion by Dalbach, second by Grover. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Roll call for that one? Okay, since we're doing a second reading or waiving something. Okay, roll call. Thank you.
Holland,
Yes.
Leeds,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Dallenbach,
Yes.
Grover,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Motion carried. Now a motion to adopt the ordinance by roll call.
You can have a motion first. now.
Motion,
Right.
yeah.
Brown.
I'll give you.
Which
I'll
one
give
gave
you-
me Brown made the motion,
Yep.
second by Vaughn. Okay. Roll call, please.
Lenius,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Dallenbach,
Yes.
Grover,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Holland.
Yes.
Motion carried. Number 6. Maybe these are going to get easier as we go along. Motion to adopt a resolution approving the final change order and pay estimate number 5 totaling $699.63 for work performed by Larson's Construction for the Independent Sports Center remodel project.
I so move.
Motion by Brown,
Second.
second by Holland. Roll call, please.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Dallenbach,
Yes.
Grover,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Holland,
Yes.
Lenius.
Yes.
How, Mike, is your name Lenius or Lenius? I've been
Doesn't
referring to
matter.
it.
Lennius.
Lenius?
Call it Holland.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's just Mike is fine.
Well, see, I've got this list so that I don't
It's-
call people by the wrong name and I put it by your last names.
Yeah.
I got cheat sheets up here, you guys. It still doesn't help. Okay, number 7, motion to adopt a resolution approving the city manager's evaluation process and the evaluation authorizing the city clerk to maintain a signed document on file at City Hall. The committee that did this was John, Austin, and Don. Do one of you want to speak to this, or do we want the motion first and then discuss it? Maybe a motion
Your
first?
choice.
Okay, motion first.
Motion.
Motion by Dallenbach, second by
I'll second it.
Grover. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same? Okay.
This is a
Do-
resolution, so should we roll call?
Okay, well, I just wanted to see if we could get a discussion going. Do you want to explain this, or
Well,
does
the
anybody
idea-
need?
The idea came, obviously came down, but based on the fact that Mr. Deers is departing us, going through the entire process of reviewing the evaluation, which, by the way, was a better evaluation than the previous evaluation and the one before that, et cetera. And everything went up. It was a good evaluation. Everybody has an opportunity to look at it as well. The committee presented it to Steve a week ago. He accepted that. He'd rather not have to worry about taking the time going into a special session or closed session in order to review it, or even review it publicly if he wanted to. But rather than take the time on it, we satisfied the majority of the requirement of the process.
Okay, then we need a roll call for it.
Dallenbach,
Yes.
Grover,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Holland,
Yes.
Lenius,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
We'll call it one way or another, he'll answer it.
Yeah.
Motion carried. Number 8. We don't have anybody here. Oh, yes, he is. Okay, number 8, motion to adopt a resolution approving the community profile prepared by Breimeyer Fersman Consultants as part of the process for the recruitment and hiring of a city manager.
What about Steve's? He's trying to run away early on us.
Well, am I falling off?
Yeah.
There we go.
I came back.
You have the floor.
Well, thank you. It's good to be back. First, let me tell you, last Monday and Tuesday, Richard and I were here doing interviews, and you folks established first here. Normally, when we go into a town, we do 15 to 20 of these. Between the two of us, we did 28. And every slot was filled, everybody showed up, although sometimes not at the right time or on the right day, but eventually we got them all covered. And one of them was even a record short interview, 3 minutes. Way to go, Chief.
Is that all the time you had?
He was on duty.
He was the only one on duty that day.
Oh, I got right to the point. You did, and quite frankly, it was a very productive interview. But what I want to tell you is that all these folks we talked to, which included all of you, obviously, staff and a lot of community members, we got a really good sense of where you are and where you're going. And there's a lot of good vibration here. You folks are very functional, good community, a lot of belief in your future. And so I think this is a positive step for you. Hopefully, what we'll be able to do is find somebody that can fit the functions that you want to fulfill. So part of my reason for being here is to make sure that this profile, I think that you have been sent. And Steve, which version do they have?
They have version 3. But as far as I know, they have version 1.
Okay.
No, there's it's the most up-to-date version is the one that's on the
Does that have
Dropbox.
The inclusion of Councilman Holland's comments in it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite sure. So if there are any changes that any of you would like to see before we start to use this vehicle as an advertisement tool, now is the time and place to let me know. But there are two things that I really, really need to clarify with you tonight. One is that the salary range is where you want it to be. And the other thing is the agreement for reimbursement of expenses. We have 500 in there. I don't know if Richard had talked to you about that, whether that's a figure you're comfortable with. We're not talking about an automatic payment. This is a reimbursement for valid expenses. So those are the two issues. And the other thing is, of course, if you approve this, then the next date that you have to keep in mind is March 31st. And that's when we present the slate of candidates that you want to go through and decide which ones you want to bring in for interview. So,
That $500 is a standard,
pretty much.
okay. I mean, we're not being,
And
we're not,
you may not, it depends on where they come from.
Right.
If you get a lot of Iowa candidates, you're probably not gonna have too many that even get close to that.
And that's strictly the ones that we will end up interviewing,
Correct. You
Okay.
pay no expenses for those who don't make that cut.
okay?
I'm okay with it.
Does anybody have any questions on it at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Are we okay on the salary range?
well, turn that question around, are we okay on salary range? 'Cause-
I don't think Richard would have proposed it if that was not a figure that was reasonable for a city of your
Okay.
population.
All right.
And it's a range that will attract good quality candidates. Would you agree, Steve?
Yes, yes, it would. Yep. That's what I had in mind when that came out, so.
And a lot of that's really gonna depend on the candidate, the amount of experience they bring, so on and so forth.
There are a lot of factors that will enter into what you determine